Hello and welcome back, all you people. Welcome back to the Nerps Crypt. Grab yourself a snack, a hot, warm drink. Sit down or lay down in your bed and enjoy the fire. It's just getting started. This video is sponsored by Dubby. If you're looking for a new energy drink alternative, look no further than today's video sponsor, Dubby. They offer clean energy, no jitters or crashes. It helps you lock in and focus, and they have over 15 flavors to choose from. And the best thing is, there's zero sugar and no artificial colors. If you click the link in the description and go to the shop and add some things into your cart, at checkout, put in the promo code NERPY and you will get 10% off your order, and that will help me out too. So thanks again to our sponsor, Dubby, and please enjoy the rest of the video. Imagine this. You're going to bed, how you typically do. Maybe you have the TV on, and you drift off to sleep, but you wake up. You can't feel anything. Your limbs, they're heavy. They feel like cement. Your legs, they feel like cement too. Your chest feels like there's a weight on it. And your anxiety spikes. You can open your eyes, but you can't do anything. All you can do is be helpless and be stuck and trapped in your own body. Then, in the corner of your eyes, you see something strange. You think maybe it could be a jacket, but you didn't hang your jacket up in the corner of your room. Then the TV starts flickering, and then you see it. A man with a top hat and a trench coat staring at you, looking at you with red eyes as you're helpless and in fear, and he just watches you and stares. It feels like maybe an hour went by, but in all reality, it's probably only been a few minutes. You get your feeling back. You can move your arms. You can blink again. And then it's gone. What you thought you saw is gone, and your TV stops flickering. That is an encounter with the Hatman. Our topic today, if you couldn't tell, is going to be on the Hatman and maybe other shadow people that show up in sleep paralysis. This topic is requested by a viewer that left a comment in my Black Eyed Kids urban legend video, so if you can, please put something in the comments for my next topic. I do read these comments, and I very much look forward to making more content like this. And the Crypt thanks you, because that means the Nerps Crypt gets to save all its good stuff for later on. Crazy thing about this topic is I have a little experience with sleep paralysis. It's not fun. I haven't seen the Hatman, nor have I seen shadow people, thankfully, but sleep paralysis is one of the scariest things that can ever happen to you, I would say. It's not fun. My personal experience, well, I'll delve into a couple of experiences I've had with sleep paralysis. Well, maybe I'll only bring up one just because this was really scary. I was at school, high school. I would have been in 10th grade. So, it happened every morning. It was a math class. And I was always caught up with my things, so I would go to sleep. I would sleep on that desk. And for whatever reason, it always activated in that class. I would get sleep paralysis. My legs couldn't move. My arms wouldn't move. My head wouldn't move. I would open my mouth and nothing would come out. People were walking by. My fellow students were walking by talking. And I tried to scream out for help so many times when it would happen. I would feel my mouth open up. It probably never did. And I would try my damn best to scream help. But I think only a soft whisper got out of my mouth. I can laugh a little bit about it now, but in the moment, it was terrifying. I thought maybe I would never wake up. The bell would ring, and I would be stuck. But thankfully, every time, I'd wake up before the bell would ring. Another memorable moment I had with sleep paralysis was I was in my bed and I always faced the wall just in case. I got a visit from the Hatman. But in this one, I could not open up my eyes. They were stuck. But it was weird. I think I was dreaming in a way, but it was so real. I could feel my hands grabbing my eyes and trying to peel them open as best as I could, but I wouldn't be able to open them. Some sort of weird type of version of a sleep paralysis, but eventually I was able to wake up. Whether that was a dream still freaked me out, and I just want to include it here because sleep paralysis is a real thing, which is very, very scary and very real. Let me know in the comments if you have ever had sleep paralysis and your experience with it, because you are not alone with sleep paralysis. Typically, someone experiences sleep paralysis once in their life, or for people like me, it's a phase you get out of, or some people, maybe it never leaves. The Hatman is a phenomenon in which witnesses report seeing a shadow-like entity dressed in a trench coat and a hat of some kind, usually a fedora. The difference between the Hatman and a typical ghost is with some ghosts, you'll be able to see some physical details, but with the Hatman, you'll simply see him in the corner and you'll walk by. He'll watch you, and then, just like that, he'll disappear with no facial features. There's nothing, just a void and a silhouette. Many people have reported that the Hatman feeds on the terror of people. The Hatman obviously is known to study and observe his victims. That's why he's never moving up to do anything, just watches and stares. Okay, so, I was on, a Reddit, r/no sleep. There was a story about the Hatman. I read it, and I really, it's not very believable, I'll be honest. I'm going on a little bit of a small tangent here, but I read it all, and
my takeaway was like, dude, what the fuck is this? It was very unbelievable. I haven't had, literally in this guy's in his story, he was like, oh yeah, the Hatman was like talking to me. He was teasing me. The Hatman brought up like scare tactics, and the Hatman said the Lakers are gonna lose. I'm sorry, but that I think the guy was just hallucinating. So yeah, I don't think that story is very real. So this time I'm doing better. I'm on r/Hatman, and we got not a video, I'm sorry. We got a post from Spiritual Rap 5973. He put my experience with Hatman, which this sounds way more like your typical Hatman experience. Alright, so let's read through this. So, my experience with the Hatman. This happened a few months ago. When I was younger, I used to experience sleep paralysis quite often. As I grew older, it became rare. Because of that, I developed a habit of sleeping flat on my stomach. I had read somewhere that this position reduces chances of sleep paralysis. That night, I woke up in the middle of the night while laying flat on my stomach. I quickly realized something was wrong. I couldn't move any part of my body. Normally during sleep paralysis, I can't even open my eyes, but this time I could. My body was completely frozen. Only my eyeballs could move. When I slowly looked to the side, I saw a tall man standing beside me. He looked around 6 feet tall and was wearing a hat. He wasn't moving, just standing there. I couldn't make out any facial details, only a dark, tall shadow with a clear, defined hat. At the same time, I didn't know about the Hatman or anything related to it. I didn't research or label the experience back then. Months later, while scrolling through social media, I came across a post mentioning something called the Hatman. When I saw the images and descriptions, I was genuinely amazed. The silhouette, the height, especially the hat, looked exactly the same like I saw or like I had seen that night. The realization stayed with me because the experience had happened long before I ever knew about this term. So yeah, that's interesting. That's better than the other story I read that the Hatman went up and said, "Yo, the Lakers are gonna lose, buddy." So this is more of your typical experience with the Hatman. I'm gonna see if there's another story on the r/Hatman Reddit to see if there's any other crazy stories that anyone has. But yeah, this is more typically what you would kind of see. We'll see if anyone else has talked to the Hatman in this Reddit, in this r/Hatman. There we go. Here's another story. This post is made by @Capri. Multiple encounters with the Hatman. I posted this story on the Paranormal Encounters subreddit, and someone replied saying what I encountered was the Hatman, which I had never heard before. After doing some research and watching YouTube videos, I came to the conclusion it was indeed him. And though I'd share my story here, or I thought I'd share my story here as well. I am currently 24 years old, and I have lived in the same house since I was a preteen, along with my parents, grandparents, brother, and at some point, even my aunt and cousins lived with us. As of today, only myself, my parents, and brother live here. I've always been pretty sensitive to bad energy, and while I was a preteen, I always felt the house was filled with it. So I avoided roaming around at night as it's pretty dark and big house. However, I did have to leave my room on a few occasions to go into the kitchen to grab water, and multiple times I saw a tall black shadow who I could tell was a man dressed in old clothes in my living room, just standing there. He used to wear a hat and a long trench coat. It was really spooky at the time, but I always brushed it off as being part of my imagination and ignored it. One night I was ironing my clothes in my room that we used to store clothes and the iron in, and I was watching videos on my old computer we had. After ironing the last shirt, I turned the computer off and I saw my reflection on the screen, and I saw the tall black shadow / man behind me. My heart dropped to my stomach as I've never seen him so close to me. After this, I rarely went to that room alone. There was another incident in which I had sleep paralysis and I saw him at the end of my bed. However, I can't really provide details on this one as I don't remember much, but I know it happened because my dad recently brought it to my attention when I told him about the man. He said I went into their room, my parents' room, hysterically crying and told them about it. But again, I don't remember much of this. I remember mentioning the man to my grandma, who was really spiritual and religious, and she said it was her dad looking out for her, which I thought was strange. Time went on and I never saw him again, so I didn't think about it until a few months ago when my cousin, who lived with us around the time he used to appear frequently, my brother and I got together for dinner and we were remembering our childhood when all of a sudden my cousin asked if we seen the man wearing a hat in a house while we were teenagers. I swear my heart stopped and my eyes filled with tears. I'm typing this and getting goosebumps all over again. And all I could say was, "What? You saw him too?" My brother, who's the bravest man I've known, was really spooked because he couldn't believe he wasn't the only one seeing him. They both talked about their experiences seeing this man, and I was floored because somehow I thought I was imagining it or it wasn't real. But they had seen him too, which meant that he was real and among us. I think we never talked about it because paranormal stuff is a taboo topic in our household, as my grandma was extremely religious. After talking to both my cousin and my brother, we came to the conclusion that he stopped appearing after my grandma passed away, but we couldn't figure out why. I mentioned all of this to my dad, and he told me my grandma was part of some sort of cult and that she did certain rituals at home in a tiny room we weren't allowed to go into, with her being present. He believes she summoned this entity, and that's why he stopped appearing after she passed away, because the person who summoned him was no longer in the house, but I'm not too sure about this. Ha ha ha. As of today, the house is extremely quiet, and I don't feel the heaviness anymore. Thanks if you read till the end. And the only comment is from Basic Bitch, and they said, "Yeah, it's wild when you realize that other people have seen him too." And OP replied with, "It is! I really couldn't believe it." Very interesting. You know, I wonder what type of ritual that her grandma could have conjured up to summon the Hatman. Very interesting. If we knew that, maybe we can know where the Hatman actually originates from. Last story I want to share comes from someone I actually know, and that would be my brother. So, my brother had told me about a night where he was he used to live in an apartment with him and, you know, his partner, but they were getting ready for bed, and so when my brother was getting into bed, getting prepared to sleep, or I think he was already asleep, he got woken up because he felt something, I think, either touching his leg, or maybe he just kind of woke up in that sleep paralysis state, but he was definitely in sleep paralysis. He opened his eyes and he saw this shadow figure. He didn't say it had a hat, but he said it was there watching him, getting closer, and then kind of disappeared. So that's pretty freaky, honestly. I personally, I'm pretty spooked from the Hatman, honestly. It's you know, as from having personal experience with sleep paralysis when I was little to like being in high school, it sucks being in sleep paralysis, but that just adds even more like suckage to just wanting to go to fucking sleep, man. It's like, leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's scary. Like, why do you gotta show up when we're trying to sleep, man? Why do you gotta do that? You know, you make sleep paralysis even worse. Yeah, it's scary stuff, but yeah, it's definitely interesting to talk about because so many people experience this all around the world, no matter where you are. So with that being said, I am going to end off this video. So I appreciate all of you guys for staying this long and watching till the end. And thanks again to our sponsor, Dubby. If you guys want to have a good freaking source of energy and have no crashes and no jitters, seriously, Dubby's really good. I use it when I'm working on editing my videos, even recording, because I get that laser focus that I need to kind of get through and finish it up. So yeah, thanks again, Dubby, and make sure you guys use code NERPY to get 10% off your order. And yeah, thanks guys, and yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, all right, stay fresh, guys.